We have the Deputy Head of Global Economics at UBS with us now. Donovan, thank you so much for joining us in the studio. It does seem like it's an incredible story. What we're expecting today is the German finance minister to actually present a 9-point plan to his European counterparts in Brussels, going through exactly what they can do, be tougher on budget deficits. Is this going to calm the markets?
Well, it doesn't really help solve the underlying problem. And the underlying problem is the euro doesn't work. And you need to move towards some kind of fiscal union, fiscal transfers. Forcing governments to be stricter in their local policies is going to make the situation in southern Europe far, far worse in terms of their growth outlook, because, of course, you've got a larger fiscal drag coming through. And that, I think, is going to create additional problems in the medium term.
But, Paul, if you say the euro doesn't work, does it mean we have no choice but to go for a breakup?
No, not at all. The US dollar doesn't work, economically speaking, either. But what you do is you compensate for the fact that it doesn't work in economic terms with fiscal union, with labour flexibility, that kind of thing. And that's ultimately where Europe's got to go. We've got to remember the cost of breakup is huge. It is absolutely enormous. You casually talk about, well, Greece could leave. Well, no, they couldn't. I mean, it would be devastating for the Greek economy and indeed for society if they were to try and leave the euro. So I think it sticks together, but they've got to try and overcome the problems of a dysfunctional monetary union.
But at the same time, because the euro is so low, it's boosting exports. Will that outweigh the problems we're seeing within the eurozone, this debt crisis?
Actually, it makes them worse, to be honest, because what it does, of course, is it's wonderful news for Germany. I mean, Germany loves the fact that the euro is weak. There's a flight to quality in the eurozone. That means that German Bund yields are lower. So Germany actually gets a real boost from this. We look at a country like Spain, they don't benefit so much from the weaker euro. They don't export so much outside of the eurozone. The euro exports are less important to a country like Spain. And of course, the fiscal drag in Spain is a great deal larger. So Spanish growth suffers. So does Portugal, so does Greece, possibly Ireland and Italy as well. So what you're getting here is economic divergence. Germany does better, the south of Europe does worse, and we're trying to set one interest rate for all of them.
But we always knew that. They're 27 member countries. They've always been different, even when they joined the euro. How do you deal with this? Fiscal consolidation seems very unlikely.
Well, fiscal consolidation is going to have to come through because the markets now are not minded to be charitable. They're going to punish any transgressors. But you're right, we always knew this was going to be a problem. Right back in 1996, UBS published a brilliant piece of research, obviously, saying 6 countries and no more. That'll make the euro work. Go beyond 6 countries and you're going to run into these problems. Economists were ignored. Bad things happen when economists are ignored. Bad things are happening now.
Fiscal consolidation, how can he actually perceive this? Do we need to change leadership at certain European countries for this to be able to go through?
Well, I don't think it's actually necessarily a leadership problem. The problem is that the pain of fiscal consolidation, on top of the pain of an already weak economic environment, is causing not problems in the leadership, but problems in the country at large. I mean, the population doesn't like this. Unfortunately, it is the price that's going to have to be paid.
The leaders aren't strong enough to actually go through with them, despite their popularity falling.
Well, I mean, I think this is always going to be a tension that, obviously, in a democracy, the voice of the people has to have some kind of weight. And that's always going to be a tension. I think what we will end up with is a process of consolidation which will be rapid in some countries but slower in others, depending on the local population's attitude to fiscal tightening.
Paul, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Well,